Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Mr. Greg Dickerson. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, Michael. Good to see you.
You have a saying that you have probably said on my channel 100 times. It has always been spot on. I believe a lot of people are about to pay attention. And that the statement basically goes, the good times never last, the bad times never last. As I have seen over my years, people don't pay attention when the party's going. They only pay attention after last call when they didn't hear the bell and now they're in trouble. The cops are showing up. The bad times have started. So I want to ask you, we're going through probably your and I's third really bad time. And I wanted to ask you, what do you do in the bad times? Because there's that country song that says, if you're going through hell, just keep going. So how does Greg Dickerson do that?
So number one, appreciate every minute, every day, where you are, where you've come from, and how far you've gone, and relish every single moment, because you never know when it's going to be over and when everything's just going to get pulled right out from underneath of you. So enjoy the moment. We've seen in the last couple of years how quickly everything can change. And we're in dangerous times right now globally. So our world can change and we're on the verge of that. So just understand where we're at and those types, and not from a fear standpoint, but just from the standpoint of appreciating life and relationships and people around you. That's number one, and what you've done. Number two, where this is the time to protect your assets, protect your cash, protect your ability to take advantage of the opportunities that are coming, because this time's not going to last. We don't know how far it's going to go. We don't know how long it's going to last, because there's a couple of things, behind the scenes that could crack, that could really take us down a bad road economically, geopolitically, with conflict and, escalating conflicts with multiple countries. So there's a lot going on out there. So you want to protect yourself so that when things do turn around, and you'll know when they'll turn around. Number one, we'll tell you. Number two, the Fed's going to tell you, and there will be an opportunity to take advantage of it. So be ready for that. So build up your treasure in your knowledge, in your abilities, in your skills, in your liquid assets, so that you can take advantage of opportunities when they come. And understand, good times never last, bad times never last. That's economically, that's in life. You're going to have peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows. That's just the nature of the business cycle. It's the nature of life. It's the nature of the world as it exists. So don't let yourself get down. When we talk about issues and dangers and bear markets and things like that, it's for you to understand where we are in the business cycle and where we are in the geopolitical economic cycle, so that you can be better prepared to take advantage of things when they do swing. And when they swing, just like, last couple of years and just like before that, I mean, we're going to have a whole different conversation every week. It's going to be go all in. This is where you want to do it, those types of things. So don't get discouraged, don't get down, and don't let bad news, scare you or make you afraid. Understand what it is so that you can use it to your advantage and be ready to pivot when the opportunities come.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that I would tell people, having done this before. One is, I have these 7 rules of one rental at a time. And rule number 7 is often ignored in the good times, because in the good times, everybody in the network is high-fiving, everybody's making some money, blah, 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 blah. Rule number 7 is there for the bad times. And basically rule number 7 says, audit your network. Are they helping or hurting you? And there's a lot of people that you're socializing today with, in my opinion, that were there for the good times. But as soon as a hiccup comes, they got to take an L, all of these things, they just go negative. They spiral out of control. You need to cut off, distance yourselves, because you won't need any help being afraid. It will be all over the place. So you need people that charge you up, that talk about the opportunity. Rule number 7 is on my one rental at a time, board, because of the bad times. And it's you're going to know it. And again, I would argue, in a world that's dominated by social media, you need to start blocking some channels. There are some channels, you and I know who they are, that have been preaching fear for 2 years. And now they've gone apocalyptic. It's like, you really think we're going to be like trading seashells or something again? I mean, why are we watching things like this? You don't need help being afraid. So I would tell people to start blocking channels. You don't need help. And then the last thing I'll say kind of on this is, I've been through 2 cycles, 2 nasty cycles, the .com and the Great Recession. And I didn't take advantage of the .com crash. I was afraid. I was emotional. I was scared. I lost 80% of my stack. I was beating myself up. All of those things. I took advantage of the next one, and probably better than most individual landlords did. And the reason I did is because I never lost focus on my job, focus and daily discipline. Opportunity lives behind fear. Fear is going to be right here, right here. And if you're not working to defeat fear, you'll be standing in front of a tree and not see the forest of opportunity, right? There'll be this big redwood tree or oak tree of fear. And if you don't step back or look around, you're going to miss the whole forest of opportunity. Those are two things that I believe. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, on your note, if we do start trading seashells again, you want to think about how can you take advantage of that. So you either need to own the beach so you can charge admission to where people go pick up those shells,
Ah.
or you need to own hard assets that people need to live in so that they can sleep at night, wake up, feed themselves, and go pick up shells. So understand there's opportunities in every situation where we're going. Now, on negative influences in your life, yes, you want to surround yourself with people that are smarter, better, brighter than you, that are going to build you up, lift you up, encourage you, support you, and help you achieve your dreams and goals. And you can, obviously do the same with them. So you want to get rid of and root out any negative, toxic influences in your life. But at the same time, you need to understand and listen to the other side of the story that are intelligently articulating the opposite of what you think. So, if everybody's talking bull market, you don't want to listen to people that are just up only, bull market, moon boys and girls. You want to listen to people that are saying, hey, there's the other side of this risk equation here that could potentially happen. And there's intelligent voices in that space. There's also alarmist, uh, you know, conspiracy theorists and people like that are just blowing smoke, and they have been for the last 10 years. And there's an audience for that as well. So you want to discern where's the wisdom in the negative information, as well as the, our intelligent influence and the positive information, so that you understand both sides of the equation. Like politics, I listen to both sides of the conversation and all that, so I can make sure I'm informed and understand, and I look at different kinds of media so I can make sure that I'm hearing both narratives, and I know how to discern what's junk and what's narrative and what's opinion and what's fact and what's, really happening and what's trend. So just understand that you want to keep yourself abreast of both sides of the equation, but you need to make sure, qualify where the information's coming from, and make sure you're not listening to just alarmists and conspiracy theorists and things like that.
Now, one thing that I know for certain is, and I think I forget who said this. I think it was Andy Teasley, because I quoted it the other day. I think it's Andy something. Basically, opportunity lives on the other side of fear. Great opportunity lives on the other side of great fear. And then I added, if you're around the greatest fear, then you have the greatest opportunity. I think there's going to be plenty of fear out there. I think social media will amplify it. So I look forward to the opportunities.
Sometimes it's time to run for the hills too. So you got to know when that time comes.
Oh yeah, you got to protect yourself. And we have some time. Maybe we will sneak in video number 4. Greg, where can people find you?
Yep, GregDickerson.com.
Awesome.